in Houston, one in Midland. And a little bit about what our company does. We are a full service HR audit and compliance and advisory firm, so audit and advisory firm basically. And what we do is anything under the umbrella as it relates to HR and compliance. So we help pretty much startups, fast-growing businesses, companies that have been around business for 50 years, 60 years, some as old as more than 100 years. And what we do is we pretty much help them with any HR and compliance needs. So they can either fully outsource their HR or partially outsource or use us on an on-demand basis. And what we do is we can do the plug and play option, which is figuring out where you might need the best help and then come in and suitably accommodate your team so you can get to the end goal and make yourselves looking like the rock star that you are in the HR team. So that's pretty much what we do in a nutshell. Also wanted to share with you a little bit about our team members here, our core HR team at ClickOnHR. So we have myself and we have Melanie Hernandez, our recruiter here in Houston, who does nationwide recruiting for both white collar and blue collar positions. We also have Hope Deanda, our HR assistant, based out in Midland, who assists with a lot of the onboarding items, offboarding, and ongoing employee management. And last but not least, as part of our core HR team, we have Elizabeth Fletcher, our HR manager here in Houston. This is our core HR team with over 35 years of experience in the HR and the recruiting world. We have a lot of other staff members who support us on an ongoing basis with multiple other clients of ours as well. But I wanted to introduce our team for this program. And if you have any questions regarding recruiting and HR, these are the team members that you can reach out to within our company. I know that we have a lot of people who ask questions about what ClickOnHR does. I know I briefly gave what our company does in a nutshell, but I wanted to give some specific examples of the special projects and examples of the outsourced HR services that we currently offer at ClickOnHR. So a couple examples of special projects. We do project management for any type of ERP implementations. So if you're looking to incorporate a new CRM or a new payroll system, or new human capital management module or talent management module, we can pretty much project manage the whole implementation of it. So that starts with you shopping for which platform is the best for your company, review the pros and cons, and then engage with the vendor to roll it out for your company. We also do a lot of change management and user acceptance testing. So beyond project management, if we were to do an ERP implementation and roll out the information or implement the program, a lot of pitfalls that you want to avoid when you do that is making sure the employees are using it. Otherwise, you do not get the return on investment that you put into purchasing the platform, implementing the platform. So a lot of the user acceptance testing means that we're testing for bugs upon implementation, making sure that your employees are trained in that software or platform and making sure they're using it. Because the last thing you want to hear is a horror story about how you rolled out a CRM or anything and the employees are not using it, which doesn't make any sense at all. So we do some of the, some of these items such as change management, user acceptance training, etc. The change management piece comes into play because we work with a lot of companies that are private equity backed or VC backed. So when you are buying a new company or merging with another company or getting bought out, there can be a lot of cultural conflicts in play beyond just merging your 401k plans or your employee handbooks or PTO policies, etc. So making sure that you get a full integration beyond the acquisition. And that can mean anything from formalizing the letterheads in a company to making sure the business cards and titles don't overlap. You certainly don't want to merge with a company with the two different VP of business developments and then not know what your role is in the business development team. So those are some of the change management examples that I can provide based on what our company does. As far as audit and advisory, we cover anything from I-9 audits, DOT audits. It doesn't have to be where Department of Labor is coming into audit. It can just be a company health checkup where you think, oh, I might need to take some time and review where I am with all my data for both my I-9s and EEO compliance as well. I want to highlight a big piece here, which is the FLSA reorganization. So basically, a lot of companies sometimes may have misclassified an employee's exempt when in fact they're non-exempt or vice versa. And majority of lawsuits that you see in FLSA are for unpaid overtime. So a lot of what we do is analyzing whether a job is truly exempt versus non-exempt. We do a lot of hands-on HR services as well on an ad hoc basis, and that includes everything from the employee handbook development that we just recently covered, new hire orientation, onboarding, offboarding, making sure that employees are being promoted effectively, bonus administration, any type of EEOC complaints, etc. Last but not least, we have our talent strategy, which includes both talent acquisition and talent management. With talent acquisition, we pretty much cover everything from executive searches for any type of compensation packages from 250K and above for C-suites or VP level roles. We also do executive roles, which are less than 250, so a lot of white collar hiring, and lots of blue collar hiring as well. So that can include your water treatment operators, tons of CDL drivers all throughout the country, black floor operators, CNC technicians, electricians, carpenters, you name it. So we do a lot of field related recruiting as well. Part of what I wanted to cover in the talent management is that we do a lot of progression planning or succession planning, which means that if you know you're going to promote, as an example, a VP of finance into a CFO role one day, making sure that we hire the right team for this VP of finance from here and give them the right coaching through Berkman or through disc analysis, and make sure that that person is amped up to move into the CFO role 3 years from now, is some of the strategy sessions that we help with a lot of C-suite members here that we work with at ClickOnHR. So I hope that gives you a pretty good overview of some of the projects that we cover at ClickOnHR. Now, I'd like to take a minute and stop for any questions, but if there aren't, I can move right into the next portion, how you can help us and earn a referral bonus along the way. Do we have any questions so far? Perfect. Okay. Let's dive right into how you can actually start earning a referral bonus for referring potential contacts us at ClickOnHR. We wanted to make this as simple and easy for you. Again, this was driven by feedback from several of you, so we took your feedback into consideration rolling out this program because it's designed for you. We made it as simple as you going onto our website, onto our referrals page at this link right here, and putting in the information here. So if you click on that link, it takes you to this page, and all you will need to do is put in your information, first name, last name, email address, and company name, company website that you want to refer over us to, a contact name, and a contact phone number for the contact that you have in mind, and you'll just hit submit. It's as simple as that. Once you send us the referral, and just please be advised, you can submit as many referrals as you'd like. Once you submit that referral to us, then you just sit back and relax. You give us a time to conduct a meeting with your referral, and if we are able to turn that referral into a billing client for us within the 6 months of you referring, then you will just get a referral payment when that referral turns into a client. And if you are able to connect us with someone who has a recruiting need and we're able to place someone with them in 6 months of you referring to us, then you get a one-time referral bonus for the first placement your referral hires. Again, as I mentioned, you can do multiple referrals. So if you have 3 different companies or contacts you'd like to refer, and 3 of them have 3 potential recruiting projects, then you'll be able to make up to $900 just for those 3 referrals. Same thing goes for any special projects or HR services. If it's an employee handbook project that comes up, or if it's just simply, hey, I just might need your help in firing an employee or doing a furlough plan of any kind, that would be a special project or outsourced HR service, then you get a one-time $150 referral bonus. So if your referral has a need for both, then please be advised, for three referrals, you can make up to $450 times 3, which would be $1,350 just for giving us 3 potential contacts for us. So that's a really good way of just sending over your referrals and letting us take lead from there. So all you have to do is just provide us info and we'll just pick up the ball and take it and run with it from there. So I hope this was helpful to review how simple the process was. Now, a lot of you may also have questions on what it means for us to refer a potential ideal customer. So we are very open to working with any type of customers or clients, and that can include anything from a one-man show sole proprietor who needs help with ongoing business compliance needs, all the way up to anybody with 2 to 500 employees or up to 5,000 employees as well. So this is just a snapshot of our current customer base, or a majority of our customer base, where the employee size is anywhere from 2 to 500 employees. Again, if you're starting up, we know that you might need some hiring documentation in place. You might need a lot of other types of setups, such as your tax ID setup, your payroll or unemployment insurance tax ID setup, and things that we can get going even if you don't have any employees hired at the moment. The type of companies, as I mentioned, we are very much agnostic to that. So it can be a sole proprietor, an LLC, partnerships, S Corp, C Corps, privately held companies, publicly held companies, definitely open to any type of business or any type of business that falls under the business umbrella. Revenue size, again, we're open to this. This can be anything from 0 up to $500 million in revenue. Our decision makers are typically our CEOs, CFOs, SVPs or VP of operations, and business development managers. As an example, you could have a company based in Canada or China where the CEO sits, and the person who sits up here in North Dakota could be the VP of operations or business development person who could be in need of our services. Again, when you refer somebody over, they don't have to necessarily fall under this bucket. You can just point us in the right direction, and we can actually follow up with them to see who might be a decision maker that could help us land them as a potential client. Industry examples can include upstream, midstream, downstream oil and gas production, transportation logistics, commercial construction. Again, these are examples of industries we've currently been working in. We expanded into the medical industry and a lot of franchise businesses in the last year. We're definitely not industry agnostic, but these are just examples if you ever need references of ours. Also wanted to cover with you some key words or conversation starters. When you are talking to someone, you may go, okay, well, how would I know if this is a potential referral? If you have any doubts in your mind, email us at info@ClickOnHR, and we can provide you some guidance on how to get the conversation going. But just to give you an idea, if you hear the keywords such as, hey, I'm having a lot of turnover, or I'm having some employee issues where I just can't get my hands around some of these items, or I have a workers' comp issue, or I'm just having tons of issues with workplace injury or claims administration, anything of that kind, lawsuits or upcoming audits, including Department of Labor audits or DOT audits, even for driving files. Those are some of the examples that we cover. So I just wanted to share with you what, if you were to come across some conversation, might be a good point for you to go, that's a good one. Maybe I should just go in and refer them to ClickOnHR. And if you need additional information, what we have done is to put together a cheat sheet that we can share with you as well. I also wanted to take a moment and cover why ClickOnHR, because you may go, hey, there's companies that do similar services. What makes ClickOnHR so special in their service offering? So a couple of highlights here that I wanted to share with you today on this meeting is that all of our services are available on an ad hoc or on-demand basis. So what that means is you may not be a current client of ours, but if you were to call us this afternoon and go, hey, I urgently need help because I just had an EEO claim come through, I'm not sure what to do. That is an example of an ad hoc service where we would actually bill by the hour just for the hour's worth of service and help you complete the claim or the response and respond on your behalf if you need it. So all of our services are ones where you not necessarily have to put us on a retainer, which is the biggest plus compared to a lot of our other HR firms that you may have come across. If you were to work with us on the outsourced HR portion of things, please note that even if you estimate 10 hours or 15 hours a week, we actually do not have a weekly minimum number of hours, meaning if next week you need us for 35 hours or 55 hours because you've got a large scale project coming through where you need to onboard 200 employees, but the week after you actually do not have a need for us, we do not have a weekly minimum number of hours that you need to bill us with. So that's what makes us different, in that even if you have a outsourced service HR model with us for an estimated number of hours, if we are not working, we do not bill out for it. Most importantly, we offer all of our services virtually nationwide. And if we need to come out to your offices, we're very happy to do so, or your field locations at any point. We're no strangers to going out to the fields at all at ClickOnHR. A lot of our services, or all of our services, are offered nationwide, both and also in Canada and Mexico. We do work with companies that are in China and parts of Europe that have offices in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and that's where a lot of our coverage has been so far. Also wanted to share with you one of our best clients in Midland who just gave us this wonderful quote. He said, ClickOnHR has done a wonderful job of making sure I'm protected. And what we've actually been able to work with David at State Fire and Safety is making sure that his company protocols, employee handbooks, policies, documents, and procedures are current and up to date, making sure that the company is protected from any type of lawsuits or potential legal complications. As I mentioned earlier, if you need a cheat sheet with all of the information about what makes ClickOnHR more competitive than anybody else in the market, or how to earn your referral bonus, or qualifying questions you can potentially ask referral sources, email us at info@ClickOnHR, and we will be happy to share the cheat sheet that we put together, which is a one-pager for you along with our contact information. And we can send that over to you if you ever need help, or just contact us with questions. I would like to now take a moment and take any questions that have come up in the course of this meeting.
So, Rhea, we actually have 3 questions. I'm excited about them. The
Okay.
first question is, what if the company already has an HR department?
Okay, great question. Our client base has varying levels of HR departments. So that can be a one-man show who's a de facto office manager, or bookkeeper who serves as the HR person, but might need some strategic help on the HR side, where as they're shopping for benefits or a new 401k plan or for audit purposes, they may need an executive level HR person who we can provide support with. So to answer your question, we work with companies that have robust HR teams. They may have a robust HR team of 5 people or 50 people, but when it comes to special projects, they may need an extra set of hands on deck. As an example would be mergers and acquisitions. At that point, you might need some help with due diligence, and bringing in an expert level or principal HR consultant to help with things that need some fine tuning when you're buying out a company might be key. So we work with companies that have both a very small, lean HR team or a robust HR team. And we do the plug and play model, meaning if you are needing somebody senior level and you have an admin level person, then we can just plug in a senior level person to help with projects on an ongoing basis, vice versa. If you're a VP of HR at a company, but you need an HR assistant to come in and help you with open enrollment with all the data gathering and working with employees, then we can provide you an HR assistant as well.
Awesome. The second question is, if the client referred has more than one project, do I get paid per project or once for the client referral?
Very good question. You would actually get paid for the referral of the first project that the client has actually engaged us on. So if you refer us a client, and even if they have multiple projects, it's whichever project that we're first able to secure with them and bill with them as a client. And then upon billing with them, we're able to provide you the referral. And it can be both in recruiting or in HR advisory. However, you're not limited to just only providing us one client referral. You can give us multiple client referrals as long as they're part of the same company, or multiple different client or companies themselves, which will allow you to maximize your referral bonus.
That's awesome. Then the last question is, what payment methods are made for referrals?
Very good question as well. Payment methods are cash, meaning check. So ClickOnHR will issue the referral for the whole amount of the referral fee. So if you're able to refer us a client for recruiting project and we're able to make a placement within 6 months of the referral, then we pretty much issue the check for the whole $300 amount and send it over to you. So when you add the referral on our website, it'll allow you to fill out a W-9 that you will send over to ClickOnHR. And that is what we will take into consideration and when providing you the check payment for the whole $300 amount.
Awesome. No further questions. I'm excited. I'm going to make some
Awesome.
referrals soon too.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see what type of referrals that we're able to gather along this process. I wanted to close out this meeting by just letting you know that you're always encouraged to follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're very active on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And here are the handles for all of them. You can actually go onto our website and also follow us from there if you need to. Again, if you have any questions at all, contact us at info@clickonhr.com. And this is our toll-free number. Again, this is just a really great number for your employees or for you to remember. If you have any questions, just 833-CLICK-HR, and you'll be able to contact any of our team members 24/7. So please be advised that this is a 24/7 hotline for you and your clients. And we have a couple of different office locations, Midland and Houston. Again, we do nationwide work. So if you have any questions or any referrals, feel free to contact us. And I will wish everybody a happy weekend. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.